to the Biscuits and Blurays podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and the biscuit is going back to the island.
Whoa! I was supposed to go back to the future.
I had nothing else to say, so I went back to the island, because I've been thinking about that song all day, to be honest. Host James and Jade, hello.
Hello.
Took a wee bit of a break.
We did.
Now we're back.
We are indeed.
Everything's fine. We're just had a bit of a break.
Yeah, we're waiting for some kind of new releases as well. We've been waiting for these three upcoming ones, haven't we, really?
We've got 3 big boys.
Yes.
We've got Superman, that's the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Highly anticipated in this house, thank you very much.
You say this house with James.
Yeah, Fantastic Four First Steps. And of course, this one, which is also highly anticipated, but a little less so.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic World Rebirth.
It has been rebirthed.
It's been rebirthed.
Without Chris Pratt.
Okay. Great. When they announced this,
Yeah.
what was your initial reaction?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they had already just done it all. We just had 3 films.
Technically, we've had 6 films.
But you know what I mean? It's like they've just done another trilogy.
Uh-huh.
Dominion ended on a flat note. Yes, it made $1 billion.
Yes.
But people didn't seem that interested in it.
Have you seen Dominion?
No.
Ooh, okay.
You've already told me to keep away from it.
I really do not like that movie.
Even though it's your favourite movie.
It's not my favourite movie. That's far from it. You've seen some other Jurassic Parks. Oh, you're only a few, maybe.
I've seen the first one.
You've seen the second one? We watched it together.
Seen the second one. Not seen the third one.
Okay.
This is trickier.
Mm.
I've seen the other films, the Chris Pratt ones. Seen the first one. I was kind of in and out of Fallen Kingdom.
Okay.
Because it was on TV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then I've not watched Dominion. So clearly I just don't watch the third film.
You don't like dinosaurs. Why don't you like dinosaurs, Jay?
I don't mind dinosaurs, but I wasn't like a dino nerd growing up. Like, these films weren't on in my household.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Maybe if they were, I'd have been more bothered.
These films were very much on in our household.
I bet they were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are a dino nerd. You actually have the Jurassic Park logo on your body.
I have a tattoo of the Jurassic Park logo, yeah. I'm a big fan of that first film. I think it's a perfect movie.
You're not right, but okay.
Do you not think it's a
Just
perfect
because
movie?
Jeff Goldblum's in it doesn't mean it's perfect, boo.
Well, yeah, that's true. but it's a perfect movie.
Oh, whatever you say.
Spielberg magic. Voila.
Okay.
It's funny we should talk about Mr. Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
Because he directed
E.T.
Yes, he did. But also Jurassic Park, of course.
Yeah.
And a certain movie that's had a 50th anniversary recently.
Whiplash.
Yes, he directed the movie Whiplash. The Cat in the Hat. Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that was a thing.
Okay. I want to put that to you back in your mind, because I do want to come back to that slightly.
Okay.
But this is not directed by him.
No.
It's directed by Mr. Gareth Edwards. Are you familiar with his work?
I'm never as clued up with my directors quite like you are until you start naming things, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think you're going to like where this one goes, because he has work that I know you've seen.
Okay.
And I know you like as well.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
He has directed The Creator,
Not seen it.
Rogue One,
I've seen that one.
Godzilla,
Which one?
the 2014 one with Bryan Cranston.
Oh, when they kept when those dinosaurs just kept trying to fuck all the way through it.
Yeah. And Monsters.
I do like monsters.
Mm-hmm.
That man likes a monster film, doesn't he?
He is a very talented director.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nice thing I'll say. No, I really like his work. He makes things look big well.
Yes, I know what you mean.
So he's perfect for this, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think visually it was a beautiful film as well. It was fabulous to behold.
Yeah. There's a little bit of monsters about this film.
The thing is with Monsters, it is the most found footagey film that isn't found footage.
I agree. Yeah. That's a good movie as well.
Although when I watched it not long ago, you were like, oh, I don't want to watch it with you.
It's one of those. We've got it. It's downstairs in our collection.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
your collection.
But it's just one I saw at the cinema because I was like, everyone's talking about it. What's this about? Mm-hmm. And I've just not wanted to revisit.
Why? It's great.
I don't know. Didn't it have a sequel?
I'm pretty sure I've seen it as well, but I don't remember much about it.
This Jurassic World movie feels very Monsters. Mm-hmm. And I mean that in the best possible way.
I think it's the whole jungle setting as well.
Jungle Boogie.
Which is also, again, because I've watched Monsters not long ago.
Yeah.
That features quite heavily in it as well.
But also the bit, the final act again, it mirrors monsters quite heavily.
Yeah, I think it's because of the whole gas station thing, and that's a massive scene at the end of Monsters, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only time you really see the monster.
But when they start shagging. What is it with him wanting to... Because we get a scene as well in this where two dinosaurs are like canoodling, and it's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just what he likes.
Yeah.
Sick man.
You should probably watch Monsters. I'd say that's probably some of his best work.
Yeah.
Where do you think this lies?
What, in his best work?
Yeah.
It's a very mid film.
I think it's below mid, but I don't think it's his fault.
I think a lot of the biggest problem with it is the writing. A lot of the characters I didn't care for.
Okay.
And we didn't need.
I do want to talk about the script as well, because it's important we do. This is written by one man only. He's had a big impact on me today.
For zero reason, by the way, guys.
Yeah, this is nothing to do with the podcast. I think this is a side note. This is obviously based on characters by Michael Crichton, original book. But also, this is written by David Cope. Mm-hmm. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He's the screenwriter of the original Jurassic Park.
Okay.
He's also written movies like Mission Impossible, Spider-Man, or most of the Indiana Jones, I think. He's worked with Spielberg a lot. Mm-hmm. He's a talented guy.
He is indeed.
Today, after a bout of insomnia, I decided to watch a movie, and that movie was Mordecai.
Why?
Hear me out. It's not a good movie, worst film I've seen today, so that's good. But that's directed and written by, well, not written by, but it's directed by David Cope. And it's like, what, why is this guy in my life today?
Sometimes it just be like that. Slap another one of his films on and all to end the day with.
Yeah, I might do.
A cheeky trilogy.
I imagine he would have wrote Hook. That sounds like something he'd write.
I don't know. Have a look. You bet he wrote that fucking stupid song. Oh.
Where are you, Crypt? No, that's not that
Children are problems in all these films, by the way.
Well, strap in, because we're going back to the island.
Ugh. Bear Grylls is the island.
Okay.
There's also, guys, we've been watching a lot of Bear Grylls recently, and as soon as they ended up on this island, me and James had to keep stopping ourselves from doing the intro.
The Bear Grylls island, every 5 minutes he goes, I've made sure there's enough indigenous animals on this island for them to survive, as long as they have the ingenuity to find it, catch it, and kill it. So
me and James kept trying to look at each other like, you know exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, catch it.
This franchise, is it broken?
Yes.
Why do you think it's broken, Jade?
I think they were onto a bit of a winner.
Yeah.
And then I think Fallen Kingdom got a bit stupid. Sorry, I know you like that film.
I do like that.
And then they didn't know what... I think from everything I've heard of Dominion, I mean, it's hard to judge it when I haven't seen it, but I do know quite a bit about it. Mm-hmm. Feels like it was just flat.
It got lost somewhere, yeah.
Clearly, these are family movies that people love. However, the source material isn't family appropriate.
Have you read the book?
I have read the book.
Okay.
I think they're missing the mark massively by not going horror.
The problem with that is that you get a 15 certificate and you don't get as many people watching.
Yeah, and I think it's such a shame because the book is absolutely horrifying. But I think it's really good. Mm-hmm. But again, people will associate Jurassic Park with those initial movies. With the initial movie, and then with the Chris Pratt one, because I think the images of the raptors, obviously that was a huge meme, wasn't it? It was everywhere. People were recreating it.
I still recreate it in my day-to-day life.
So the younger generation will have seen all that, and it was quite popular at the time. So when people think of Jurassic Park, they think of those movies, I think, in particular. If you went horror now, you're missing out a massive part of your audience because you can't let kids see it. Yeah.
What I think the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole has going for it is that sort of... it can only be described as Spielberg magic.
Yeah, because he tends to add in children and families. And
it's got a bit of a whimsy to it.
Yeah.
It's quite charming, particularly the first Jurassic Park. He did the second one, that's less so. Mm. But I like that movie as well. This one, and I know you haven't seen it, but this one feels more like Jurassic Park 3.
Okay.
Which Spielberg...
Alan.
Yeah, okay, you know the thing. Yeah, we're going back to the island, but none of us need to be here.
Yeah.
So...
And just say, guys, this is a movie, again, that's kind of relating to families watching it. There was some death scenes in this, and those people sounded crunchy when they were eaten.
People are crunchy. That's just the fact.
So I just thought, for families, guys.
Yeah, it's quite dark. Maybe not for young kids, but...
Maybe not, but apparently I've seen those videos as well, though, with the... isn't there like a Jurassic Park... like interactive experience at the moment in London.
Yeah.
And people are taking their kids in, and there's like one of the rooms is quite horrifying with some of its animatronics, and there's children just crying all the way through it.
Yeah.
Because dinosaurs are scary.
Dinosaurs are the big lizards. Yeah, chickens.
I mean, they're cool, but they are scary if you were in that situation.
Yeah. Why are we going back to the island?
This time it's to do with science.
Whoa, I like it. Go on.
So this time they're on a bit of a scavenger hunt. They are trying to find a bit of surf and turf, aren't they? Looking for something in the water.
Yeah.
A big land mammal and a flying creature. Basically, they want to be taking living samples of all three of these creatures in order to use for medicine.
Yes, particularly...
Is it heart disease?
It's heart disease, I think.
Heart disease.
Yeah.
So a billionaire basically hires Scarlett Johansson and various other people to go to the island in order to get these samples. Reason being is because it's got to be very covert. The governments can't find out about it because it is strictly forbidden. They'd be breaking so many laws by doing it.
So we have to talk about a few mild spoilers here.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to keep it spoiler free, but it's kind of hard to do so. Any spoilers we will talk about that happened in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We've retconned Dominion completely, and that is a vibe. I thought that's. I think it's quite interesting that the world isn't really habitable for dinosaurs, so they have to stick to the island.
Yeah, so they have to stick to islands close to the equator.
Yeah, because it's just warmer, naturally.
Yeah.
And that's why the dinosaurs are there. But then every country's gone, we don't want none.
What's really surprising is with how hot the UK's been in for the last few days. They've been all right here.
Yeah, we've been toasty.
They've been okay.
Yeah, they've come over for a little bit. And then, okay, so we start with the initial... With the Jurassic Park stuff, you have to start with something going wrong slightly before you introduce to the main people. There's another fucking island. Now, there's only so many islands that there can be, right? This
particular island, though, because it's in all the trailers and all the radio spots, is where they put the most dangerous dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So, essentially, this is InGen, the evil corporation again. So the umbrella corporation of dinosaurs.
Of genetics, yeah.
Yeah. They're mutating stuff.
Again?
We're doing this again? But again, we're written into a corner. There's nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
Let's keep doing it. Dinosaurs bigger, more teeth.
More teeth, more ugly.
Yeah, bigger.
More fake looking. Yeah.
Essentially, we're going to make them to a point where we can't look after them.
Yeah, not that they could control or look after them to begin with anyway.
Yeah. 2 minutes it took. 2 minutes. Now, the first one is where they're transporting the Velociraptor. There's a bit of suspense to it. It's like, you know something's going to go wrong because there's an air about it. But this one, 2 minutes.
And we get like a weird Final Destination-y kind of scene where you see something play out and you think, that is the most stupidest thing I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Imagine being brought down by a piece of rubbish. What the actual fuck?
And then everyone on the island just goes, fuck it, we're out. 2 minutes it takes. And then the film hits the brakes hard.
We get so much exposition, guys.
We are introduced to so many characters, most of them expendable. Let's talk honestly.
And the majority of them you won't care about.
Yeah. Actually, none of the characters you will care about.
No. One of them in particular you will care about, and that is Mr. Jonathan Bailey and his slutty little glasses.
He's a little dapper lad, isn't he?
Oh, you will only ever want the best for Jonathan Bailey.
He plays a sort of, like a museum geek.
Yeah, he's a dino nerd.
He's a dino nerd, but he's not tricked onto the island, but he's talked into it.
Yeah.
He wants to see them up close,
He's there for the science.
Yeah, he's a science boy. He holds this film together.
Steals every scene he's in. I hear he's one of the most wanted at the moment.
By women everywhere?
By everybody, because he just stole every scene he was in.
Yeah, that's true. He's magnificent in this. There's a point in the film where we sort of do the Laura Dern glasses thing, but it's with him.
Yeah.
And it sold it for me. From that point, the film got interesting.
Yeah.
But that is maybe an hour and 15 in.
Yeah, there's a lot of boringness to get through before that.
We are also introduced to a family. Now, that's very Jurassic Park 3. And that's not a vibe.
I didn't need the family.
No one needed that fucking family.
Oh.
It's a parent, a dad with his teenage daughter his younger daughter, and the teenage daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
They are dreadful.
They are the most ungrateful, most irritating fuckers ever. And I've never wanted to watch a family getting eaten by dinosaurs before, quite as much as I did them. The teenage girl in particular, not only was the acting really bad, but she was written terribly. I thought, I'm sorry, I want to see you getting eaten by something, and soon.
They're rescues. They're just about sailing, and there's a lot of sea stuff. This is why I think it comes back to Jaws.
Yeah.
I think we're celebrating the Amblins, the Jaws as the Jurassic Parks. Like, remember how good they are?
Yeah.
Because it felt very Jaws.
Yeah, remember how good they are, and the fact that we won't be able to recreate that? Yeah.
We're going to try. Yeah. But they're rescued, or they need to be rescued. They are then rescued, and they do not say thank you. No. They're rescued by a band of misfits, and then it all kicks off.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why characters would be written that poorly.
I don't get it. I didn't think they were very likeable. I can see what they were written for. I think it's to get it's to get families into the cinema.
Yeah.
It's say, this is a family just like you. I don't care. I don't care for it. I don't need them. Whenever it went to them from the actual main story point, I wasn't interested. There was only one scene that I was interested in, and it was the same one that you was. Because she sat grinning all the way through it.
There's moments of gold. This isn't this isn't Dominion.
Yeah.
This isn't... I don't even know where I'd put it in my ranking.
You're going to have to rank all the films.
I know. But I do like Fallen Kingdom, and I like Jurassic World. And I like The Lost World.
Okay.
The one that we watched. The problem is that the first one is too good. Because even Spielberg went back to do a sequel to it, The Lost World, and people hated it.
Yeah.
So should it be replicated?
It doesn't need to be. That's the thing. I think the original is such a classic. It doesn't need to keep being remade again, especially when we've already had a recent trilogy.
Yeah.
This was just a film that didn't need to be made.
My review on Letterboxd says that they're going to keep making these until they run out of colours to change the logo.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a cash grab because they can always think of new dinosaurs by using the kind of gene splicing. They can keep making their own. My big problem with this film was that the main dinosaur, the big bad in this, didn't feel real.
None of the dinosaurs felt real.
But you know what I mean? It didn't feel like that ever could have existed.
Yeah. A criticism that Jurassic World came under was that the animals were too CGI. Obviously, we had a bit of CGI to fill the gaps in the first one, but it's animatronic. That's the way to go. I don't spot any animatronics. You got quite a cute scene, guys, with a T-Rex that you might quite like. Yeah. Essentially, they treat the T-Rex like a puppy. Which I quite like. Yeah. As soon as the dinosaurs that you know and love rock up, they're gone like that. Yeah, and I think there's a reason for that. What is that reason? Like, for example, we start to see raptors. So if you come in to watch raptors in this film, you're not really going to get them. There's two raptors in the movie, and they are dispatched so quick. Because there's other dinosaurs taking over those kinds of roles with what we make them out like they're paid actors. Yeah. Like Blue's sat there going, oh yes, I worked really hard on Jurassic World. Little glasses on his nose and the director's chair. I need to see that. But yeah, there's other dinosaurs that they have doing the same things now in this. Yeah. I think they probably didn't want to be recreating the same characters that we've already seen in Jurassic World. Yeah, which is ironic because the whole thing's about creation. So. Absolutely. So they've gone, you know what? We don't really want to use raptors again. We'll just make some others up, or we'll just pick some other out of a random history book and slap that on. But at what point does that become redundant? Because there's a moment where every now and then there'd be something that reminded me of the first Jurassic Park. There's a museum where they show that banner that says "When dinosaurs ruled the earth." Yes. And I was like, I think you heard from me just like a. Yeah, and it's exactly the same banner as well. Yeah, but at what try and move on. Yeah, it's almost like it's going nostalgia glasses again. We're just going to try and sell you this. This film still felt like a cash grab. I do. Do you think they did the best that they could? The people involved. They've definitely tried, but they've tried to reboot something that didn't need rebooting to begin with. It doesn't feel like a blatant cash grab like some of the Disney remakes do. Okay. But it is still what it is. Okay. There's a moment in the film, and this sums up the franchise in general, where Well, it's touched upon in the first Jurassic World. And this is more aimed at the people around us in the screening that we were in.
Yes.
And I never really got the metaphor. The thing is, I'm so interested in dinosaurs. I fucking love them.
Yeah.
If Jurassic World was a real place to go, I'd be there in a heartbeat. Even if I knew there'd been incidents before of it going tits up,
You'd be there.
I'd still want to sort of visit that. It's my toxic trait.
Yeah. You'd get a T-Rex to sign your arm, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Sign my tattoo.
Sign my arm. Yeah.
With your tiny little arms.
The whole point of this gene splicing thing is that people are bored of the same old dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But then they're so bored of it that they have to create these bigger dinosaurs with more teeth, bigger, badder.
Yeah.
And to get people coming in. And I'd never really got it because I thought dinosaurs are interesting. Fact, it's like zoos. People are going to go. And then when we were watching the film, there was two teenage lads in front of us.
Yeah.
Who had their phones on. Mm-hmm. But they would only ever be on their phones while the dinosaurs were on screen. Which
is really bizarre when you're going to watch a movie about fucking dinosaurs.
You sat there through all that exposition, phoneless, but the T-Rex stuff and the stuff at the end, you will happily just take Snapchats of with your mates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it hit home. I was like, yeah, people aren't interested in dinosaurs anymore. They're just numb to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. For me, that was like oh, shit, yeah. That makes sense.
I think it's just the thing as well about people's attention spans. Well, I think people just don't want to watch movies nowadays without being on their phones. But again, it's the same when you go to places like museums and zoos and stuff. How many people look at things through their phones?
Yeah.
And just look at a picture and go, oh yeah, I've been, that's it.
Uh-huh.
I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but this is unfortunately what happens to places like that.
So maybe its message is not too far from the truth, really.
Yeah, I think that was intentional as well.
Yeah. What, by the two lads in front of us?
Bellends. They should have been raptured the fuck up.
Oh, absolutely. Did you like the whole water, earth, air tasks that we're doing?
I didn't care.
Okay.
when they first said that's what it was about, I was like, oh, okay, so on kind of a scavenger hunt kind of thing. I don't know why, but I went through most of this film with it feeling not like a Jurassic Park movie.
It felt like a Resident Evil game.
The whole thing felt like a ride.
Yeah. Okay.
I was. I mean, to be fair, I've seen the videos of like the. Is it Universal that have this? I don't know.
It's Universal, yeah. Universal.
So I've seen their their water slide and stuff that's got this theme, and it looks great. And a couple of the sequences felt like that, but I still didn't. I don't know. Maybe I just need the theme park element.
In your Jurassic Park movies, do you need the characters to be mildly likable?
Yes, and I need them in a park, please.
Okay, right, sure. Okay, not in a world. You want them back in a park.
In a park or a world. It doesn't matter as long as they're in one of those locations.
I do think the franchise will never go back to the park, and that's a shame.
Did you feel like this felt a bit more like Kong Skull Island?
It did feel like Kong Skull Island. When did you watch Kong Skull Island?
With you.
Oh. Okay. It does. Is that a compliment? Yes, because Kong Skull Island slaps. But this doesn't slap. This is boring.
No, but it kind of had that element as to how it felt compared to Jurassic Park as such, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Gareth Edwards is a good filmmaker in terms that he makes things that are big feel big. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, Godzilla, that first Godzilla movie, felt massive.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It felt slow, it felt hulking, He wasn't in it much, but like...
He was a vibe.
He was a vibe. The Death Star in Rogue One, that felt big.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. The dinosaurs in this felt big.
They're a vibe.
So why do I feel so empty watching it?
Did you connect with the dinosaurs themselves? Like, did you care about what you were seeing on screen?
The problem is, I think I know that it's not. They're not the. This is weird. Okay, I always assume in the Jurassic Park you've got the T-Rex and the raptors and stuff. Mm-hmm. In Jurassic World you have that same T-Rex.
Yeah.
That's the arc for that fucking lizard. Okay. But in this one, it doesn't feel like it's that T-Rex. It doesn't feel like it's got any personality. It feels just like a T-Rex. So I don't feel as connected to it.
You like your dinosaurs to have a backstory.
Is that weird?
You're weird.
Okay. I feel like I'm getting on to something now.
Was the big bad at the end? Was that the same one that was causing trouble at the start of the movie?
It was, yeah.
That particular dinosaur as well felt more like something out of Alien. I hated its design.
It doesn't look good.
No.
But is that me? Is that me thinking that would have looked good if I hadn't seen the Funko Pops and the Lego sets and stuff like that months ago?
Maybe, but I also don't think it's helped that we're currently rewatching Stranger Things.
Okay.
And again, it felt like something that could have been in season 3 of that.
Yeah.
It felt like a monster as opposed to a dinosaur, if you know what I mean.
I
get the dinosaurs are monsters, whatever, but it didn't feel like a dinosaur.
At one point, there's a turning point in the film where we get to the big facility or whatever, and the dinosaurs are not real dinosaurs anymore. They are just creations by the facility. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, I don't know what that is. So how can I relate? I don't know what that dinosaur can do. I have a feeling what the velociraptors, the Dilophosaurus and the T-Rex and stuff
It's an unsure-asaurus.
It's I don't know what you are, Asaurus.
Basically.
Yeah. So, do I know how dangerous it is? No. Is it big? Yes. But that doesn't mean that it's dangerous, because there are big ones earlier in the film that aren't dangerous.
Yeah.
It's a weird sort of balancing act that this film is just not doing well.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, which one did we have in the reboot, the original reboots with the Andromenus Rex? I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, the Indominus Rex, yeah.
The Andromenus. The Indominus Rex. Clearly that is just a massive T-Rex.
It's T-Rex with raptor DNA as well, yeah.
People know what those things are, though.
So they can fill in the dots, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically. And it looked just like a massive fucking T-Rex as well.
Yeah.
But acting a little bit more vicious.
Yeah.
So people already knew they could still relate to it as being a dinosaur, whereas this, I don't know what the fuck that was at the end.
There's that big one at the end, but then they're being chased by some what look like raptor. Essentially, we're doing the kitchen scene. We're doing that shit again.
Yeah.
They look like raptors in the face, but they fly. That's not a dinosaur that ever existed.
Is it? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Dominion, to its credit, took actual dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. Well, the dinosaurs that we had already, and redesigned them to what they would have looked like in real life.
Okay, so were they like feathery and shit?
They were feathery and shit.
Okay.
And this is just a big step back.
Yeah.
And granted, you put feathers on something that's going to be cute. It's going to be cuter.
Well, they tried to do cute in this, guys, with a very small dinosaur.
Because we have merchandise to sell, Jade.
Oh, and do you know what? They make out very early on that the reason these dinosaurs are where they are is because they cannot survive away from the equator.
Yeah.
Because of our Earth. One of the characters decides they would like to try and take a dinosaur. Like a small dinky one.
Yeah.
And they want to take it off the island.
And
what would happen, guys, if you took that away? They've already established that dinosaurs can't really live away from it because they die. We even see it, there's a beginning scene, isn't there, where there's a dinosaur that gets out of its area and it's stumbling around and it can't breathe.
Yeah.
But no, that's not thought about. It's like, oh, that's cute. We can sell dinosaurs in backpacks, and I bet they'll have that sort of shit in all the parks now that you can buy.
Yeah.
You know how you can get, like in Disneyland, the Remy's that sit on your shoulder?
Well, you can get the toothless as well.
Yeah, so that'll be a new one now. It'll be get a little dinosaur to hang out your bag.
It's a dino bag.
It's just a little dino bag. Oh, it's just about selling merchandise, and it's just I hate it when I know I'm being sold to.
Yeah, exactly. Do I think this film is bad? Yes. Are there moments where it's great? Absolutely.
There's some great scenes in this, isn't there?
I'd maybe count 3 of them. Mm-hmm. The Laura Dern glasses scene with Jonathan Bailey. Mm-hmm. T-Rex. That's all I'll say.
That whole scene is absolute gold, guys.
The ending was quite good. It held my attention.
This is a particularly good scene with a helicopter that you really enjoyed.
It's a good bit of imagery, that. And I that caught me off guard. And even that was better than anything we'd seen in Dominion. So is this film better than Dominion? Absolutely, yes. Which
is all you went in wanting, so you got what you wanted.
I got what I wanted, but I still feel like I could have had more. This franchise should not keep going.
No, I don't think it will. And to be fair, does Marshall Ali and Scarlett Johansson need the paychecks?
No. Well, none of them are getting the MCU money they were promised.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person who I feel like who is still actively doing a lot of work at the moment is Bailey.
Yeah. Rupert Friend's in everything.
Rupert Friend, I say to you, is that if you don't want to...
if you can't get Luke Evans.
If you can't get Luke Evans, but Orlando Bloom's too old, it's who you go to.
You go Rupert Friend. He was okay in this.
I like how he was like, oh yeah, I'm the rich billionaire, we're all going to go to this dinosaur island. I'm going to wear these full dress trousers.
Yeah.
And this shit, mate.
That's how you know he's the executive, though.
You'd go in some like tailored shorts or something, wouldn't you? Because you know it's going to be fucking hot.
Yeah.
He wasn't dressed for the weather. And he never really looked that dishevelled.
A quick side note that we discussed on the way back is it's a moral thing.
Yeah.
If someone needs saving and you don't save them, that is not the same as leaving them to die, right? Is that the thing?
It's trying to kill them.
Yeah, that's not the same as trying to kill them. So, is that am I on...
Yeah, there's a debate later on in the film where a character blames another one, saying, you tried to kill me. However, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
The other character ended up in a kind of life or death situation, and the other character just kind of watched.
Yeah.
They didn't put them in that situation.
They got into that situation themselves.
You've done that to yourself.
You've done that to yourself.
They just didn't do anything about it. And I think as well, at that point, even though we know that's kind of a bad character, people do go into fight or flight.
Yeah.
And some people will genuinely just freeze up. Like that character who was doing the accusing did later on.
Yeah.
And then did loads throughout the film where they just kept staring at the dinosaurs and it was like, mate,
Run.
Do something.
Yeah.
It's like you're just staring at them. So you can't be that judgy, but I mean again, we know that there's more to it, but
those two things are not...
But that person just jumped from 0 to, you tried to kill me.
You tried to kill me and I'm going to kill you. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how this works.
But that person was also the worst person in this story,
Correct.
so just saying.
Yeah. I think this franchise should go, if it's going to carry on making installments, it should go back to the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be its best play. There's a game coming out for Jurassic Park soon where it's a person who was trapped on the island at the same time as the first one.
Okay.
And basically that person's on their own to survive.
Okay. Is it Bear Grylls?
It's not Bear Grylls.
How long do you think it would have taken Bear Grylls to take his clothes off?
I've already drank my own piss and eaten dinosaur poop. But I know that's what you need to survive.
It's full of protein, guys.
He's there fully naked, doing squat jogs. No, but I think you should go back. Stop pushing your environmental message, because this one does a little bit.
All these films do, to be fair.
Yeah. And go back to just a creature feature thing. Have it before the park. Have it before John Hammond ever got involved, where it is just InGen trying to make dinosaurs from scratch.
Yeah.
Tell us how we got the mosquito and stuff. Don't keep going forward, because you're going to get to a point where we're going to keep seeing it. We don't have to keep going back to the island. Those dinosaurs are going to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Fact. That's what we've come round to, is full circle.
Yeah.
So the fact we have to keep going there, audiences are going to check out. If you're going to make it interesting, make it a survival thing.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I don't see them doing it because I think they're going to want to continue on with, again, I think Jonathan Bailey's character is really likeable. I think people are going to get really behind him.
Yeah.
I think they'll want to carry on at least with him.
But why would that character, after the trauma he's had, want to go back?
Because it's all about the science.
Doesn't make any sense.
I think he would, though. I think he'd go back in a heartbeat.
Just to put his hand on a dinosaur again.
Absolutely, and just like jizz his pants. Oh, fabulous.
Is it better than Space Jam?
No.
I don't think so either. Is it the worst Jurassic Park movie? No, not by a long shot, but it's not even close.
Yeah, I think it's one of these that, you know what, if you want to see a summer blockbuster, it is beautiful to behold. It's great on the big screen.
Shot well.
Yeah, and that is how I think it should be watched.
Yeah. Every time the theme would play, I was like, oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that's, again, it's a good family movie for that, in that respect. If you've got children that aren't scared of dinosaurs, or they're not going to get quite distressed by it, because it is still quite horrific, some of the scenes in this. But don't come out expecting it to be anything amazing. It's pretty mindless. It's a way you can kill some time, but go out with the family and it'd be decent.
If you want a better time, maybe wait for Superman next week.
But we don't know that yet, because it might not be a good film.
It was probably going to be a good film.
We don't know yet.
We don't know. The scenes I enjoyed, I sat up in my seat.
Yeah.
I thought that's good. And then its pacing's way off. It felt like we were in there for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. People will talk with the wallets, I guess.
Absolutely. I do see this making $1 billion like Dominion did.
No.
Why?
Because people have sort of clicked on. It's different with like the Fast and Furious franchise and the MCU. They've got a bit of reason for audiences to keep going back. But this, if we're just going to see people go back to that fucking island, we're going to tune out.
Ooh, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes on and when it goes head to head with the other big blockbusters of the summer.
Yeah.
What a month July is blessing us with.
Good times. So, yeah, don't forget, guys, turn your phones off when you get to the cinema. Have a good old time. Enjoy that T-Rex scene.
Enjoy the T-Rex scene, guys.
Yeah, that's basically all the film's got going for it. And we'll see you next week
for Superman.
Man of Steel, super dupers. Bye-bye.
Bye.